Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Shirtless Plantain Show, the Euros edition. This is your host, Dean, and today, as always, I am here with my co-host, Coach. How are you, Coach?
Doing great. You know me. You should be knowing me by now. Lob Rucci on Twitter. 3 games, fantastic games. We got to see Granit Xhaka technically play twice today because his country played, and then his adopted country played. So
Indeed, it was a day for Xhaka, but we'll get
yeah.
more into him a little later, because the first game of the match day 6, was Croatia 2, Albania 2. The Balkan battle ends in a stalemate. Albania opened the scoring early again in this one, just like they did against Italy. I thought they scored too soon, but there was a lot more twists and turns to come. So, Coach, I'll let you take it away.
Yeah, I think just carrying the conversation we had in the group chat, Albania should have been out of sight before like the half an hour mark, to be honest. Croatia were open as hell. And they didn't look like they were really going to get going at all at any point. They are the international team of attrition. That's how they play football. We will outlast you no matter what. And they were hanging on at points. They were very, very open, especially in transition. Like they were overcommitting too early. I think they almost kind of panicked because they felt as if probably that they're behind now. They need to win, and if they don't win, then they're out basically. And for a team that's experienced as them, they played quite immaturely, I think. Albania played with a lot of freedom, but also when they were defending a lead as well, so they can afford to sit in if they wanted to. But I don't feel like they did. So yeah, I mean that was probably the story of the first half. I think for me, but Brozovic, wow, I think he looks older than Modric, bro. Like for real, he looked older than Modric. So when I saw that you're subbed at halftime, I was like, that's probably the smartest decision that their coach has made the entire tournament so far.
Yeah,
So,
I think they're at the phase of this generation where their coach is going to watch each guy essentially age beyond being in the national team in the middle of the game. Like, okay, well, he's done. We kind of know Modric is done. Like, this is the first time we've seen him in a tournament where I've kind of felt like, okay, he's not one of the best players in this tournament right now. And it's been a while since we could say that. That said, the Albanians opened the scoring in the 11th minute this time through Laci, and they had a series of chances. Livakovic, he seems to hibernate between international tournaments. He showed up again per usual. Was really good in this game. Made some great saves. I think so far he might have one of the saves of the tournament for me. I'm not going to describe the play exactly.
Yeah, do you know what
I think you know the one I'm thinking about. I think you know the one. It looked like a certain goal, and he got something on it, and he saved it. Actually, the Magnan save against Austria was probably better for Austria-France.
That was good as well, actually. But I feel like the player probably scuffed it a little bit.
Yeah,
but yeah,
definitely. Yeah, but Croatia improved quite a bit after the half. And they got their 2 goals in quick succession. What changed, Coach?
Yeah, the first 10 minutes of the first half, so of the second half, should I say, Albania didn't get up their half. And even so much so that the commentator acknowledged that, this is the first time Albania have had possession. And when he said that, I looked up at the time, it was 55 minutes on the dot. Literally for 10 minutes, Croatia just pummeled them, getting off, a series of chances. I think as bad as Brozovic was, Kovacic was equally as good, basically. This is one of the best games I've seen Kovacic play for club or country in ages. He really took responsibility, and his best attributes, him being really good under pressure and dribbling through the middle of the pitch, he was doing it fine against a very deep block there was really no gaps, but he was finding gaps and trying to destabilize them. And I can't lie to you, I was really impressed with him. Modric, obviously, he's going to have a level that he's always going to play at, but his body is giving up on him. That is, there's no shame in that. But Kovacic for me was absolutely fantastic, and I think both their goals, especially the first one, it was a typical Croatia goal. High technical skill, moving the ball quickly, and a fantastic composed finish. The second one, on the other hand, it's funny because Perisic seems to be like the Peter Pan of the team. He never ever seems to play like his age, and a lot of the good stuff they were doing came from his side. And I think it was very unlucky the way the ball went in, but Croatia were full value for it at this point of the game. So
yeah, Budimir bullied whoever the defender was there. He just threw him on the ground. Actually, we saw a
Yeah.
bunch of those goals today. We saw at least 2 of them. Uh, but yeah, the guy that scored the own goal for the second Croatia goal ended up getting the late equalizer, Klaus Jasula. What a day for him. I'm glad he found redemption. Cutback goal, very, very typical of the modern game. A goal that could have been scored in any league around Europe this last season. Very, I don't know, pepish. Cutback, essentially. Deflected, guy finishes. Nice finish. Now in this group, we have Spain and Italy leading the way on 3 points. Croatia and Albania both have 1 point. Which team do you think? I don't. No, the answer isn't obvious. It's a tournament, but I would say, which team do you think is most likely to be the better place, third place finisher? To get to the next round, or better yet, jump over Spain or Italy into second place.
Just because of their know-how, I'm going to say Croatia.
That's fair.
Yeah,
that's a safe bet.
But I'm not gonna stand here and say, oh yeah, for sure, Albania are completely ruled out, because they're not. They've taken the lead in both games, and in the second game they've managed to claw their way back to get a win. So they clearly can hurt these teams. But I'd just say, for the experience, I'd say Croatia. But they are old, man.
And with that, we move on to Germany 2, Hungary 0. This Germany is beginning to feel very familiar. They're beginning to feel like the Germany of our youth, the Germany that just won games. They look recognizable. They look real to me now, even if the kits don't quite look like Germany. Like, no matter how nice they are, no matter how much they sold, those are not German kits. Like, shit. Those kits would be kind of, I'm going to use the word, fuck it, it's Juneteenth, I can do what I want. Those kids would be zesty for any country, really. I can't country that would get away with that purely. I think, like, as a Juve away kit or something, sure, but short of that, it's a bold kit.
Or like or like a Pharrell designed kit that they use as their fourth kit, a cup kit, basically.
But I have no complaints. But it doesn't feel Germany. But the team we're watching looks very Germany, and I would say Gundogan. During the preview for this tournament, we discussed how his career with the national team never really took off. He missed the 2014 World Cup via injury. Then Germany has basically not been great in tournaments since then. And he's been a part of a lot of that. And he was the captain at the last World Cup as well. So that failure kind of, got attached to him. So it's nice to see him, show up today with a goal and an assist, because, the real, I've always respected Gundogan, like, for sure. Like, everyone that knows good players knows he's a great player, one of the best midfielders of his generation. But he hasn't really done for Germany until today.
Yeah, I'm in total agreement. And I'm one of the early adopters of Gundogan, because there was debates literally a decade ago, maybe even just over a decade ago, of who was better out of him and Vidal. And I was telling niggas from day one, there's no conversation we had. Gundogan is comfortably better than Vidal. Comfortably. I'm talking a decade deep. I'm talking like years and years ago. So, go on.
I want to be respectful, and I don't want to yuck anyone's yum, but you can't compare a generational midfielder to an alcoholic. I don't care how cool this mohawk is. This is not a valid comparison. Like, you hang out with a lot of weirdos over in London, bro. Like, a lot of people that come to you with crazy things. You need to start punching you in the face.
This is on the internet as well. Like, literally, you can search my tweets, like, you'll see. But for real, like, he's a drunkard, and Gundogan is not. You know what I mean? Like, Gundogan just like to eat a lot of food at one point in his career. That's all it was. You know what I mean? But
he was growing up. He didn't know what it took. Now he knows.
Yeah. But yeah, I think a really valid point on just how he was viewed, as a one of the leaders in the German team. Sometimes shit doesn't line up. Sometimes the squad isn't compiled in a way that really helps you to get the best out of it. So I'm not making excuses for him, but it's just shit. This is how shit sometimes happens in it. And I feel like this squad is a lot closer to what he, the level that he can replicate, his best level with the way, even the guys in front of him, in the attack, they allow him to ghost into space, kind of thing, and then he knows he's got the security behind him of someone like a Rudiger and Cruz and whatnot, who are really good passers of the ball as well, that can find him in those spaces as well. So sometimes it's just about the timing of what the squad is on at that time. But
I mean,
he's
Coach,
just
sorry to cut you. That point you made reminds me a lot of Michael Ballack's career, his entire
oh,
career with the German
the
national
most
team.
unlucky.
A really good player that was surrounded by a lot of not great players, and he never won anything. Gundogan hasn't been that unlucky, but there were periods where, I mean, when you don't have Toni Kroos, for instance, probably not going to play too well, given the other talent that exists in Germany. And even before Toni Kroos came back, he kind of came back a couple months after Pascal Gross started getting national caps. So then there was coaching uncertainty with Hansi Flick. Yogi Löw was there forever, then he left. So Gundogan has been through a bit of the tumultuous era of German football. But again, it's great to see him prospering today. Did he foul that dude on the goal today?
No.
To Musiala, the assist to Musiala. Did he foul Orban?
No. I don't agree. I thought. Do you know what it is? I feel like with football, we see just in the last game that was played. I saw a couple of fouls. I'm thinking, guys, let's not take the piss. Like, actually, just play the game and don't wait for the whistle. Like, it's still a contact sport. No matter how sissified or whatever they want to call it, the game has been, it's still a contact sport. Just play the game. I'm not going to be dismissive, but seriously, guys, be stronger. And that's what I'm asking you to do. I get annoyed when I watch teams that I care about, duck out of shit or just kind of give up because they're expecting the ref to save them. Play the game, and then you see if you get what you deserve. Kind of, you don't wait for the ref and shit, or be like, oh, throw your hands up or processing afterwards. You know what I mean?
Right. And that leads to another point about the refereeing. I think so far, I would say the refereeing in this tournament has been good. We've had some violence. The French got beat up by the Austrians the other day with Mbappe's nose getting broken and Griezmann getting tossed headfirst into the advertising boardings and bleeding. But short of that, I think the refereeing has been good. I don't know if it's a directive from up top, but the games have flowed a bit like the Champions League and basically the European games that we watched this just ended season. So it's nice to see the reliance on technology kind of lessening a bit and the referees just taking responsibility again. It's been good refereeing to watch. But back to the actual football, Musiala, man, he's feeling like the sneaky candidate for player of the tournament on the low. I feel like it might happen.
I can't even be mad at that. I'm gonna have to wait to see what Saka does. Are you gonna play him tomorrow? I think they are, in it. No, they're not actually. No, they're playing on
what's
Sunday.
happening tomorrow.
Yeah, it's Spain, Italy tomorrow actually. Yeah, so no, for real. Like, I'm of the opinion that so far he's probably been the best player that I've watched in this tournament. But he's such a unique player in the sense that he's an attacking midfielder who can dribble, who can score goals, obviously, which that description actually fits quite a few attacking midfielders. But it's the way in which he goes about his business that is very interesting and what makes him such a rare talent and so sought after and such a huge weapon for Germany and for Bayern Munich. He's just very, very brave. Very brave, very fearless. Gone?
I said that's the word, man. I mean, because
the
things he does,
he's very brave and very fearless.
I was going to say, the things he does is not as if people haven't seen these things before or that they're not expecting it because they scout him before the games. But in the moment, you almost see the defenders think to themselves like, wait, he's not really going to try that, right? Then they try to foul him, then he's gone.
And you know what? That's actually, that's exactly it. Andros Townsend on the British broadcast, they made a really good point in I believe was it the Albania game? I want to say it was the Albania game where, in his experience, basically recently, defenders in the Premier League, fullbacks, they seem to give you that yard/half yard now. They actually want you to take. They want to take you on. They want you to take them. They'd rather you cross the ball than beat them, basically. Like, that's what they prefer now. And I thought that was really interesting because I now think about how Musiala plays football now, and he's very much he gets the ball on his first touch, and he's made his decision as, I'm going through you. Like, I'm just going to go through you. So whether you give me the space or not, I'm going to go through you. And he's such a mixed bag of tools and weapons that he might go for the 1-2. He might go for the first touch into space around you. He might go for the dribble where he takes a couple of touches and sucks you in and literally goes around. Like, you never know what you're going to get with him. And then you put that into central areas where you're doing that against people. Once you get past 1 or 2, you're at the defense kind of thing. It just makes him a devastating player, man. Absolutely devastating player, man. He's so good, man.
He really is. He really is. All that said, even though Germany won, Hungary were really good in this game. Credit to them.
Yeah.
Manuel Neuer was busy. I can count 4 saves and at least 1 error. There was definitely one chance that should have been headed in that Hungary just missed. And they had their moments in the game. And as far as third place finishers go, I'd be very happy if they continue in the tournament. But that would require them to beat Scotland, who drew 1-1 with Switzerland in the other game. Scott McTominay opened the scoring. Then he spent the rest of the game up Granit Xhaka's ass. This was the first elite man marking job of this competition, Coach. What did you make of this game before we get to the fantastic equalizer?
So this is, a lot of the media in this country be talking about Scotland, and saying that, look, this is last chance saloon for them in terms of trying to get out of the group. They cannot afford to lose today, and I feel like that kind of heaped, it heaped a bit of unnecessary pressure on them because they already know. John McGinn said ahead of time that he got to kick up the backside basically from Steve Clarke kind of thing. A lot of them underperformed on Friday. We know that kind of thing, but Scotland will be an underdog in 99% of the games that they play. So now people talking about they can't afford it. It's like they already know that they came into this tournament knowing that if they were to get out of the group, it would probably be the best thing that they've done in most people's lifetimes as a Scotland fan. So all this pressure on them, like, it to me doesn't make sense. They should just be happy to be here, kind of thing. That's my take on it. Now, with that being said, the game itself, Scotland, I think they were great in the opening exchanges. I thought they were great, and they showed a lot of what Steve Clarke tries to do. And the goal they scored is a very Scotland under Steve Clarke goal. Like, they were, they moved the ball really well. They were patient. They looked for the spaces, kind of thing. And the ball arrived at their best ball striker in Scott McTominay. So it's very, it was very well worked, and it's just, I can tell probably Steve Clarke was over the moon with that goal because it's like, you guys have actually done exactly essentially what I wanted you to do. And as a coach, I can imagine that is very, very satisfying. But they went for it. Both teams went for it, to be honest. And I have to give credit to Scotland for not, for I suppose not sitting back and just trying to get another one on the counter. They were trying to go for the kill. But then
enter Xherdan Shaqiri, aka Ghostface Killer, aka the Albanian Eagle, aka I've scored in the last 6 international tournaments I've played in, aka if you only watch international tournaments, you would think I was the best player alive, and you would be correct. What a goal, man! For real. What a goal! He was just awake. He was alert.
Yeah, and he he's like him in international tournaments is like the equivalent of Young Thug on Unicorn Perp. For that minute, basically, in fact, for that entire song, Young Thug is literally the best rapper in the world, comfortably. And for these tournaments, for some reason, Shaqiri finds his best form. Like, and you look at the quality of these goals, they're not like some Mickey Mouse goals. He's giving some teams some bad days. Like, goalkeepers are leaving the game thinking, fuck me, there could have been 2 of me, and I'm not saving that. Like, this goal itself.
All the Scottish dudes, you could just see in their faces, it was almost like, fair enough. Like, that was ridiculous, man. Like, personally, I know it's not the best goal of the tournament, but it might be my favorite, just given the context surrounding it, the score of the goal, and just the aesthetics of the goal. The goalkeeper made it look good, too, because he went all the way,
and he had
stretch,
no chance.
But top corner. No chance. Yeah. No chance in the world. Shit, man. Bril Mbolo, he came on. Looked good.
He said,
didn't quite... I didn't get to watch the first game, so I didn't quite know what to expect from him because he's been hurt most of the season, but he had boys in jail. He had all these Grants and McFarlands and Tierney. I mean, damn, KT, man.
Yeah, he got put in a blender.
Sorry to take the detour, but I just remember how bad he was hurt.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was in...
Are we ever going to sell him, Coach? Can Arsenal sell him? Ever.
It was in Doyle. It was in Doyle that put him in a blender and essentially might have ended his tournament. But I'll be honest with you, I'm just not a fan of Vargas. And I don't like watching him play football. I don't think. Yeah, I
Ricardo
don't
Vargas?
enjoy him. I don't enjoy him at all. And I think the sooner it's annoying because he's got more legs than Shaqiri. The sooner Mbolo's fit, the better. But I feel as if Mbolo's fit, then Shaqiri probably won't start. They'll probably go with Ndoye Vargas and Mbolo, I think.
Hey, listen, man. As long as they're not putting Hans Seferovic out there, everything is okay. Because if you want to talk about a useless striker, that fucking guy, I watched him in too many international tournaments waste my time. But I'm really impressed with the way Scotland recovered from getting destroyed against Germany, because that's the kind of result and performance that can essentially end your tournament before it begins. And the fact that they recovered, and by the end of this game, Switzerland were actually hanging on, I would say, because Scotland had them pinned back. They were trying to get the winner. Switzerland were playing on the break, and they looked dangerous on the break, but I didn't really expect the game to go this way. Big credit to McGinn and McTominay, because there are very few moments in these tournaments where we see Granit Xhaka play second fiddle. And today I have to say he got I wouldn't say dominated, but they got the better.
I agree. He's forward passing, although there was one move that they had in the first half which was fantastic, and they basically got set free by one of his passes, one of his trademark first time passes into space. But apart from that, really, his forward passing wasn't that great. He couldn't really turn and face the game as much as he would, and that's credit to the high energy of Scotland's midfield, in particular, McTominay, McGinn, everyone taking it in turns to try to press him as quickly as they can, because you stand off Granit Xhaka and he's going to kill you. Like there's no, it's not rocket science there. But probably one of these weaker games I've watched him play in a tournament. But yeah, I can't wait to see him up against Spain, honestly. I really feel like he finds an extra gear against these good midfields, and I really want him to lift Rodri up and break his back. That's what I'd love to see.
If he comes up, if he comes out with the blonde hair, that Bane moment is happening for sure. If he comes out with that hair dye, it's over for Rodri. It's over for Rodri. Switzerland, are they through
4
yet,
points?
essentially,
I'd
at
say
this
so.
point? Are they 4 points? It feels like they're safe.
Yeah.
Feels like they're safe. Scotland, do you think they have it in them to actually make something happen in their final game and get through, surprise, get through, surpass the expectations as you would put them?
No. To be honest, no. I don't see it.
You think Hungary is going to do that?
I think Hungary can. Yeah, I think Hungary can beat them. To be honest, yeah, I think they can. I would love to be proven wrong
on the evidence of today's game. Yeah, on the evidence of today's game, I was kind of feeling Scotland's performance. I think they can go up against Hungary. I mean, Hungary, at the end of the day, they have essentially one decent player in Szoboszlai. And they make him do too much. He's doing the build-up. He's trying to play the through ball, but he's trying to finish the chance as well. It's just a lot on one guy. And I just think Scotland has a few more threats, and that might be the difference in that game. At least I hope so. I would love to see Scotland going ahead in this tournament. They have some of the best fans.
Oh, for sure. They always bring it. They always bring it. Yeah, but I'd love to be proven wrong, but I just don't see it, honestly. It's almost like, people talking about Georgia yesterday, saying, yeah, Georgia will give some teams some bad days. Guys, we're going to forget about Georgia in less than a week's time. Like, they're going to get beaten by everybody. Yeah, they're going to be exciting, but they're going to get beaten by everybody. So let's not overhype them.
Oh, man. All right, Coach. I've enjoyed this show. I hope you have as well. Anything else for these people?
That's the usual. Like, comment, subscribe, share, all of that. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for just, rocking with us, man. Like, this is what our God knows how many tournaments we've done since 2018. But yeah, you guys keep coming back. So.
Oh, man. And make sure that after you're done with this, if you're interested in the American view of things, check out the SPS Soccer Edition, which should be out today. And actually, it should be out by the time you hear this. Put it that way.
It's out now, guys.
And on that note,
it's definitely out.
Okay, it's out now. Yeah. All right. Like, see, we totally have our shit together. I promise you. And on that note, tell the people peace, Coach.
Peace.
Take your shirt off. Take your shirt off. Plenty. Sister shirt.